No moi, it's Joinen, and welcome back to Joinen. We are here live on Twitch. If you want to be here, then come. No one's stopping you. The link is in the description, or you can go to twitch.tv/Joinen, but on Twitch, and I'm going to be streaming here. I'm attempting to stream every weekday pretty much. You can have this chance to be in the chat right here on a real video. Amazing. Today, we're going back to the basics. Here we are, My Story Animated. The chat helped me decide to go for this one. So there's even more incentive to come and join me over on Twitch, where all the fun is happening. Let's jump straight into I hid in the basement for weeks after I Googled myself. I just came in and the chat is a bunch of ribbits. Yeah, I don't acknowledge the ribbits. Chat 101 is like, come up with an inside joke that's only relevant for that one chat. That single stream.
The final bell rang and we all simultaneously closed our books and started clearing our desks. As raucous laughter echoed through the halls, our teacher was still talking, explaining about the paper he had assigned to us. No one was listening though, except for Samantha, the smartest kid in our class.
Oh, of course, Samantha. What a classic Samantha move, right? Everybody knows Samantha.
Also my best friend. I smiled at her enthusiasm and followed the crowd outside towards our lockers. I stopped by my locker and was taking out books when I caught sight of the boy 3 lockers down from mine. It was Lucas, and I happened to have the biggest crush on him.
Ooh!
In fact, I had been crushing on him since middle school, but I hadn't told anyone about it. He was single at the moment, but all his ex-girlfriends had been cheerleaders. I was so not his type.
Oh, it worked. Sweet. What a genius. I set the pause button to also be the hotkey that swaps me to full screen. So then when I pause the video, I'm full screen and I can start talking.
Linda, are you staring at Lucas? Samantha came out of nowhere and startled me. No, not knowing what else to say. You were. Oh my God. Do you like him?
These stories always go so fast. I feel like so much has just happened in this 1 minute. The pace is too quick. Was her name Linda?
Linda.
Oh, it is Linda. Okay. Her name is Linda. Linda is into Lucas, but Lucas isn't into Linda, clearly, because Lucas only dates cheerleaders. This chick, I don't know what her name is. I think she's teasing Linda for being into Lucas when we all know that Lucas would never go for Linda. What a story. All right. Let's continue.
Of course she does. She's always sneaking glances at him, my twin sister confirmed as she walked up to us.
Ooh, twin sister. Now that's a plot twist. Twin sister, or do we call her Chekhov's sister? Because she is definitely going to be a plot point later on in this story. There's no way. You can't introduce a twin sister. That is way too convenient a plot point for that not to be something that really matters at some point in this story.
I realized that I was blushing, so I started walking towards the school gates, knowing well enough that they can't follow me since they had to rush to their practice.
This is riveting. Like, this is absolutely riveting. I'm sure the story gets a little bit more interesting at some point. They kind of always do. They pick up a little bit.
My sister arrived home late from practice, and she was acting a little weird. I asked, "How was practice?" And she replied, "Fine." This was so not normal. The next day in school, after the second class, I saw Samantha and my sister talking, but as soon as they saw me, they changed the subject. "All right, what's up with you two? You're acting shady." "Well, promise you won't be mad."
What is this? Why is there someone, like, in a sheep's costume?
Sheepish. "Oh my God, what did you two do?" "Promise you won't be mad," Samantha said, looking sheepish.
Very funny. It's because Samantha was looking sheepish, so that's why she's in a sheep costume.
"Oh my God, what did you two do?" I asked. "Listen, we know you have been crushing on Lucas for a while now, and we know you'd never ever do anything about it. So we sort of wrote a note and passed it to him. Anonymously, of course."
Ugh. It's too basic middle school antics to be an interesting story. At what point is... The title of this video is I hid in the basement for weeks after I Googled myself. And so far, we have 2.5 minutes of just like middle school crush antics. Oh, it's that time of day again, where the light from the building across from me shines in my face. It is so bright. Ugh.
As if on cue, someone shouted Lucas's name and we all turned around to see him standing at his locker and...
Can I just say, like, he doesn't look like that much of a catch. He looks like he's trying a little bit too hard, you know?
At that moment, I felt like my heart was gonna jump out of my chest. I wanted to murder my sister and my best friend. I was just contemplating all the ways I can kill them when Lucas smiled at me and turned towards his friend. See, I told you it was gonna be okay. It's obvious he likes you too. Uh-huh, right, I said, not convinced at all.
Oh my goodness. When is this story gonna progress? I already did school. I don't need more of this. The art style is hard to look at. What do you mean? This is art in its purest form. Look at the detail here. No school dress code would allow that red shirt. Yeah, but like, who's gonna click on the video if there isn't some cleavage? And you can't just put it in the thumbnail, because then that's just clickbait. I feel like the whole plot is clickbait. Not My Story animated. They would never. You already forgot what the video was about? Oh, look, let me catch you up to speed. Linda is into Lucas, but Lucas wouldn't be into Linda, because Lucas is just into cheerleaders, and he's only ever dated like cheerleaders in the past, so Samantha doesn't think that Lucas is ever really gonna go for Linda. But then Linda's sister, I forget the name, was Linda's sister Samantha? I don't know. Linda's sister and Samantha team up and they wrote an anonymous love letter. Wait, anonymous? That doesn't make any sense. They wrote a love letter to Lucas from Linda. And now Lucas is giving Linda eyes, and oh my gosh, it's just the cutest thing. I cannot wait to find out more. Joinen, you're so good at gossip. Oh, how can I not be? Just so encapsulated by this story. All right, hopefully the Google comes in play soon.
That a guy like him would like a girl like me. I wasn't pretty like his cheerleader girlfriends. The next day, I avoided him. When the last bell rang, I hurried to the locker to dump my stuff and headed to the journalism room for our next meeting. I had almost reached the door.
Oh, yeah. He comes absolutely busting through the wall. The guy's on a rampage. He's the Terminator. Stay away. He only had one eye. He's on a side angle. Understand perspective, my guy. Like, look, when I'm here, I only have one eye, and my mouth is all the way inside my cheek. It's just how things are.
Hey, Linda, right? Yeah. I turned around and almost choked on air. He was standing there looking at me with a faint smile, and I suddenly didn't know what to do with my hands or my eyes or even myself. I'm Lucas. So I was wondering, since prom is just around the corner, would you like to go with me? He asked me to prom. Lucas asked me to prom.
What? What? After all of this time, when you were thinking that Lucas was too cool for you because he only dates cheerleaders, Lucas ended up asking you to prom? I can't believe we were going to click on a different My Story animated. I feel like she's going to get pranked. No, Lucas would never.
Yes. I screamed, then cleared my throat and looked at him. I mean, sure, that would be cool. I couldn't believe this was happening. Never in a million years did I think that I would go to prom with Lucas.
Prom king and queen. And he's dressed like that. This has nothing to do with Google. Look, we're getting there, you know? Oh, where'd I go? I disappeared. Hold on. I can figure this out. It's all right, guys. I'm still here. Hello. Welcome back. I am back. Yes. But I believe that that happened because my camera just overheated. It is really hot in here. It's the middle of winter. I just gotta close all my blinds so that... Oh, this is awkward. Oh. It is summer, Joinen. No, it's not. I live in Australia. Okay, let's continue on.
The next morning, Lucas greeted me at my locker. There you go, a pretty flower for a pretty girl. He smiled at me and left for his first class. After lunch, I heard him call my name. Come on, I'll walk you to your next class.
What an absolute cutie. Lucas, you know how to treat a lady.
The next couple of days were some of the best of my life. Lucas would meet me at my locker every morning and give me a flower. He would walk me to classes and even sit with me during lunch.
You're saying he would buy you a flower every single day?
He was the sweetest. The day it rained, I was left without a ride. I was waiting in the parking lot when Lucas honked on his car. Come on, Linda, I'll give you a ride home.
Wait, hold on. He's giving you a ride in his car on a rainy day, but he's in a convertible with the top down. Why? Like, whose idea was that?
Our friendship was growing each day, and the closer we got to prom, the more excited I got about it. However, no matter how good he was to me, I couldn't shake off this nagging doubt that he wasn't really interested in me.
Because he's probably not. Unfortunately for you, Linda, this story isn't going to turn out well for you. I'm telling you now, it wouldn't be a story if this turned out well for you. I would be very disappointed if this whole thing was like this super middle schooly love crush story. The guy you're interested in asks you out to prom. What? You go to prom with him? What? And then that's the end of the video. My Story Animated would have to step up their game because the story isn't true. You're allowed to get a little bit more crazy with it than the guy you're interested in invited you to prom. It will though. She still hasn't hidden in the basement yet. For weeks. She still hasn't Googled herself.
The days leading up to the prom were like a whirlwind. My sister Samantha went shopping for our dresses. We bought accessories for it and planned to get ready all together. Is that Lucas? I asked.
Oh no. Oh no. Lucas, everything's going so well. Don't ruin this now, Lucas. Don't come in with this blonde woman attached to your hip. Actually, no, please do. We need some drama. This story has been so bland.
It's when I saw Lucas entering the cafeteria with the head cheerleader, who was also his ex-girlfriend, Queen Bee of our school. Lucas was laughing at something she said, and she too was smiling, pleased with herself. Samantha and I were still looking up at them when she caught us staring. She started walking our way, and Samantha suddenly stood up. Hey, Linda, I just remembered that the school counselor asked me to visit her during lunch, Samantha said, suddenly standing up. Okay?
What? What kind of friend is that? Just ditching? Something's about to go down, and her friend just is like, oh, look, I got a thing.
I watched Samantha leave, and just as I turned around, I felt something slick and wet on the front of my top. I looked down in horror as the red spaghetti meatballs plastered itself on my clothes.
The red spaghetti meatballs? I'm sorry. This is devastating. Not the red spaghetti meatballs on the red top.
Whoops, the head cheerleader said, as she delicately set the tray back on the lunch table and walked away. What on earth? I said in shock. This is the first time Queen Bee even looked in my direction. Why on earth would she bully me like this?
It's Lucas's ex-girlfriend. It kind of makes sense, right? I'm not justifying it, but I'm just saying, like, it's not that weird for an ex-girlfriend to be jealous.
It was our school principal. Oh, my, Linda, she said, looking at my clothes. Go ahead and take a shower. I'll write you a pass. Who did this? I asked around, but no one would say. Excellent. The last thing I wanted was to be a tattletale. It was an accident, I said, and slipped away quickly before she could interrogate me further.
She doesn't take a breath. Like the entire story, there is not 1 second of silence. You don't have time to consume what's actually going on.
However, I couldn't help noticing that something was weird. Everyone was staring at me in a strange way. I looked around and saw my sister. Just as I was starting to walk towards her, she looked at me, closed her locker, and walked away.
No. Not the sister. The sister can't be in on this. That would be a terrible twist.
I couldn't even concentrate on editing the article one of the writers had submitted. Even though it was an interesting write-up about how none of us can ever hide from the world because of our digital footprints, how much of a digital footprint would I be leaving behind? I wondered out loud and Googled myself. I typed in my name and clicked images. The first few pictures were of other people named Linda around the world.
Now we're finally getting to the Googling. We are literally 8 minutes into the video of a 14-minute video, and now she is finally Googling herself. Like we're actually getting to the point of the story. Wasn't she going to the prom? Yeah, I don't know what happened to the prom. Maybe, I don't think it's happened yet.
As I was scrolling down, one picture caught my attention, and when I looked closer, I gasped in surprise and shock. The picture was of me in the school's communal shower. It was of my back, but it was clearly me. I was posted on a site I didn't know about. What is this? I whispered, numb and shocked.
That was not the twist I was expecting here at all. What, now she's gonna go hide in her basement because there's some stalker, like, taking photos of her? This sounds very illegal. Yeah, she's in high school.
I clicked the link and the site opened up. It was posted from an anonymous ID, so I couldn't tell who it was. I went down to read the comments, and I was horrified to read what each one of them had written. All of them were about my size and how ugly I looked.
What website is this? Like, what website are people just posting photos of someone's back in a shower and then people being like, oh, ugly. What an ugly back. Love that her first reaction is, oh no, people called me fat, when there are so many more issues. Yeah, like someone posted a photo of you, underage, shower on the internet. Let's find out. Let's find out what's going on here. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Was a particularly harsh comment fat-shaming me, and when I saw who it was, I felt myself shaking. It was Lucas. Not only was he fat-shaming me.
Wait, hold up. You're saying my boy Lucas has the @Lucas? He's like OG. How did he manage to get that username?
Also wrote, she's delusional to think she's going to prom with me.
What? Okay. I've got a couple of questions right now. Other than the fact that Lucas has @Lucas, there's a photo of this high schooler in a shower posted online. And everybody just takes that as their cue to jump in there and start roasting her about how fat she is. And then Lucas chimes in with she's delusional to think she's going to prom with me. What a weird thing to say, right? Whether he was or wasn't the person to post this on the internet, it's just a weird thing to write in the comments. What is the website? The class Facebook page? It just doesn't make any sense. OnlyFans. But how? I just don't get it.
There was also a comment from the head cheerleader, Lucas's ex. She had tagged my twin sister and written, "Are you sure she's your sister? I think your mom brought the wrong child home." And my sister had replied, "I know, right?"
The betrayal. The sisterly betrayal. What is this? This is such a common theme in the My Story animateds, is that just everyone in these people's lives are just terrible. There is not one kind soul in these people's lives.
My own sister. I think, out of all the comments, this one hurt the most.
Obviously. It's your sister. Who cares about Lucas? Who cares about the random people calling you ugly? Your own sister. Obviously, that's the one that's gonna hurt the most.
Most of the comments were from students either in the school's football team or the cheerleading squad. This means Samantha knows of this too, and she didn't tell me, and she didn't stop them either. How am I ever going to face them again? How am I ever going to leave this house?
What is this messed up scenario? Who comes up with this stuff? This is just ridiculous.
Suddenly, my room felt too bright, too exposed. I ran out of my room and climbed down the basement. "I hate you," I shouted when my sister tried to enter the basement. And then Samantha visited me. "I'm sorry, Linda.
Oh.
Please hear me out." I simply slammed the door on her face. I had realized that she was nothing but a coward and that she'd never stand up to them. Not that I'm the one to talk, hiding in the basement for the past 3 days. Just the thought of Lucas laughing at me with his friends makes me want to hide under a rock forever. On the 7th day...
On the 7th day. This is all very dramatic. It's understandable that she's, going through something here. It's not a very good situation, but it's also just not a very real situation. Then there's the question, why? Why write this story? And why does it have to be about a high school girl? How is this story going to end? How are they going to wrap this up?
My mom set her foot down and asked me to explain what happened. I told her everything and she listened quietly. When I was done, my mom hugged me tightly. "You are not alone, honey. I'm here with you and I'll support you no matter what." "But Mom, there are so many of them. We don't even know who took the picture." "We don't know, but your sister or Samantha might. It's my job to make sure they tell the truth."
Oh, that mum's threatening to put her own daughter in into the hands of the law. Good.
Minutes after Mom left the basement, someone knocked on the door. I knew who it was even before my twin sister entered the basement. "Leave me alone," I yelled at her. "Linda, please hear me out," my sister cried. Her eyes were red from crying.
What are you gonna say? Huh? What are you gonna say to your sister?
"I know, Linda, I made a huge mistake. I was a coward and I couldn't go against her. She would have kicked me out of the team. But now I know that it shouldn't have mattered." Even though I was curious to know who was really involved in this disgusting act, I was angry at my sister, so I didn't reply. "I know you deserve all your anger, but Linda, I can help you bring those bullies down. If we report them, no one would be laughing." "Yeah, right. Like I have any proof of who did that," I snapped at her. "Well, you might not, but we have." Samantha
Ooh, she got that pud.
"Couldn't stop our captain from posting your picture, but we did record her when she was planning it." She lifted her cell phone and the recording started playing.
So cliche for it to be the spaghetti meatballs chick. If it's a fake story, you couldn't come up with something a little bit better than the ex-girlfriend?
"We need to report them to the principal." School was already out by the time we got there. "Welcome back, Linda. It's great to see you. our school principal said with a big smile as soon as we entered her office. My mom had already called her earlier and explained everything to her. The principal looked at me kindly and asked me the same thing she asked me the last time I was in school. Who did it? We played the recording for her and she listened carefully. After it was finished, she called the school security and asked to see the tape outside the showers. We watched it all together as I could be seen entering the shower, and a few seconds later, one of the cheerleaders entered after me. She was the same girl Lucas's ex had been talking to in the recording. The next morning, the site was taken down and my picture removed.
What? It was a girl that Lucas's ex was talking to? It wasn't Lucas's ex?
We all moved into the school's gymnasium where our principal announced the suspension of all those who commented on the picture. And then she announced the expulsion of Lucas's ex and her friend. I watched Lucas look towards the principal in shock and Lucas's ex crying loudly. I didn't feel happy at all, only sorry for them. But I was glad I took a stand so that they never dare to repeat their actions.
Okay, hold on. I still have questions. First of all, the basement for weeks? Was she actually in the basement for weeks? I'm glad that she finally took down those bullies. Yeah, me too, Becky. You really got the justice against those very real characters. Don't let the bullies harm you, period, girl. I am proud of you. What did you call her? Me too. Don't call her period. Why is she... What? He meant to say, don't let the bullies harm you, period. Girl, I'm proud of you. My sister Samantha went
shopping for our dresses.
That's why I was so confused. Samantha's supposed to be the friend. I don't know what the sister's name was. But then she just said, Sister Samantha? The story itself isn't even consistent with the characters. Exactly. They don't even know what they're talking about. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to be here live next time, make sure to go follow me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Joinen, but on Twitch, or you can click the link in the description, where I'm going to be trying to do this every weekday. I don't know what time yet, so you're just going to have to follow and cross your fingers. Follow me on Twitter if you want to know when I'm streaming and all that kind of stuff. While you're down there, you can get some of the sweet lemon carton merch. It's got a cute little lemon carton on it, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching my video, but now that it's done, please watch another one.